So the battle for pole position in Bahrain, that's in 40 minutes. First on BBC One, Around the Grounds with Gabby, Logan, and final score.
Trying to avoid relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters. The latest score is Wimbledon go through to the Premier.
John Terry's tears, we all remember.
Wanderers 2 fruitful week.
Hello and welcome to Final Score. An afternoon of inspired moments and incidents has been taking place as a number of teams jostle for positions across the league. Steve Claridge and Matt Holland have been keeping our Red Button audience entertained for the past couple of hours. If you've got any questions for the guys, then you can tweet them using the hashtag BBC Football and get involved by the live text on the BBC Sport website as well. Let's bring you right up to speed with what's happening across the leagues, starting with the Premier League. And it's Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. Per Mertesacker nodded in from a yard out by the Thames after Fulham had gone down to 10 men. Norwich 2, Reading 1. Huge signs of relief around Norfolk after their first half goals from the Bennetts, second half goals rather from the Bennetts. But Reading have got one back from Gareth McCleary. It's QPR 0, Stoke 1. The Potters with a much-needed flash of class on the break, and Peter Crouch finishing well. Sunderland 1, Everton 0. A rare Leighton Baines error and Stefan Sessegnon pouncing from outside the box has put the Black Cats ahead. Swansea 0, Southampton 0. Two attractive teams knocking the ball about, but no goals so far. West Brom 1, Newcastle United 1. Right back Billy Jones equalising after Johan Gouffron's early opener. And it's West Ham 1, Wigan 0. The informed Matt Jarvis with the goal at Upton Park, where Andy Carroll's been getting hot under the collar. Booked early on, he was. Let's have a look at the Championship and a few games of significance for you here. Quick reminder, Cardiff clinched the title with a 1-1 draw at Burnley in the early kick-off. It's Watford 3, Blackburn Rovers are now 0. Watford remaining in automatic promotion contention as it stands. Troy Deeney's double giving them a cushion against Blackburn as they give chase to Hull City. Brighton 4, Blackpool 1. Brighton are doing their playoff hopes. The power of good. Matthew Upson among their many scorers. Crystal Palace 2, Leicester City 1. It's really Crystal Palace ahead after these two were just level 1-1, and other playoff contenders as well in there. We've got the relegation battle, Derby County 3, Peterborough United 1. OK, let's bring you more information on all those matches. We're going to start with Jonathan Ledyard at Loftus Road and a penalty.
Well, it's going to be retaken because it's been taken once already. Jonathan Walters for Stoke ran up and crashed the ball past Robert Green, and the QPR goal in the shade, rather like his team. Queen's Park Rangers now hanging on. So Walters, take two, runs up, right-footed, and scores into the bottom right-hand corner. And that could well be the goal which condemns Queen's Park Rangers to relegation to the Championship. Yes, it's over a season, but today Rangers have been definitely second best. Peter Crouch in the first half, John Walters in the second. It's Rangers 0, Stoke 2.
Pulling Stoke away from trouble. Bad news, though, for Wigan. They're trailing at Upton Park. Tony Husband.
And there is a real sense of urgency about Wigan. We're into the last 12.5 minutes here at Upton Park. They're trailing by a goal to nil. In the second half, it's very much been one-way traffic. They've got another opportunity right down by the goal line at the moment. And again, West Ham, who are really starting to defend deep, are holding out. They lead in this game, though, through Matt Jarvis's first half goal. Across from the left-hand side, right-footed, into the danger zone of the 6-yard box. Beat everyone. Nobody touched it, and it popped in off a post and went into the net. Jääskeläinen has been very busy in the second half, made an excellent save from James MacArthur. And one other note for West Ham, the only one of real highlight for them in the second half, Joe Cole back from a hamstring injury and on the field. 12 minutes left though, and West Ham lead.
The Di Canio effect is reaping rewards, but I join you, Paul Addison, at a moment where Everton have a chance at the Stadium of Light.
They do indeed. They've got a free kick inside the penalty area. It was a back pass that was destined for the back of the Sunderland net before Simon Mignolet saved it. He was booked as a result, with it being a back pass, and now Everton have this free kick almost near the penalty spot. Leighton Baines is behind it, Stephen Pienaar is there, Nikola Jelavic as well. Let's just remember over that Sunderland lead here by a goal to nil. Stefan Sessegnon right at the end of the first half. Leighton Baines gifted possession to Sunderland. Seb Larsson fed Sessegnon his shot from 22 yards. Didn't get fully behind it. Tim Howard did get a touch, but it beat the Everton goalkeeper and went in. Phil Dowd, the referee, is making sure that this Sunderland wall is sufficiently back. High drama at the Stadium of Light as Baines strikes it, and the wall does its job, and Sunderland survive. 100% effort from them so far this afternoon. Everton just can't unlock the Black Cats' defence, and Sunderland still lead by a goal to nil as they eventually get it clear.
Let's go to Craven Cottage. So Everton losing, Arsenal winning, but Fulham having a goal disallowed, Andrew James. Good decision?
Yes, it was. It was the assistant referee, Sian Massey, showing her knowledge of the offside rule on that occasion and spotting that there was an infringement by Manilev who crept forward. So that was well ruled out by the assistant on that occasion. But Fulham really have been impressive. They lost Steve Sidwell with a red card right early on in the game. It was Sidwell's second yellow card in 5 games. Identical tackle to the one he did against QPR that earned him the first ban. Took Fulham to 10 men. They've responded really well, and although Arsenal got a goal just before half-time, Per Mertesacker left unmarked as the ball came in from a free kick to put Arsenal ahead. Really, Fulham have more than held their own. It's been a festival of passing from them, but they can't find the equaliser yet. Fulham 0, Arsenal 1.
And it just got worse at Upton Park for Wigan. Tony Husband.
They're now 2-0 down. Kevin Nolan has got the goal, which Sam Allardyce will certainly believe will make West Ham safe. 11 minutes to play. It came from Andy Carroll. It was an overhead kick, edge of the penalty area. Nolan then picked it up about 8 yards out, and on the spin just turned the volley in from Carroll's original shot. It's his 100th club goal in his career, and it may well have taken a big step towards West Ham safety and sending Wigan potentially down.
A few goals of significance to tell you about. Partick on their way to the SPL with a 2-0 lead over Falkirk, and Chris Wood getting the equaliser for Leicester against Crystal Palace, affecting positions in the top 6 in the Championship, and Watford extending their lead further against Blackburn to 4-0. But let's talk about those Premier League goals of significance there.
It's all just happened, doesn't it? I mean, we felt before the start of play that QPR and Reading probably had too much to do, both losing again. The biggest one now is Wigan. With results elsewhere going pretty much against them, they needed something out of this game against West Ham, and they really pushed West Ham back for the majority of the second half, and they just conceded a goal against the run of play. Good finish by Kevin Owens, 100th in English football. Andy Carroll sort of does well to hold it up, tries an overhead kick from 25 yards, and it finds its way to Kevin Nolan about 8 yards out. It's a good finish from him. But they're the ones most under pressure now. I mean, probably you're looking at the table, it's them and Aston Villa.
Well, I was going to say, when you're not playing, as Aston Villa aren't, they're playing on Monday against Manchester United, you want the teams around you not to be successful. They're doing the absolute opposite today, and Villa are in real trouble.
There's some depth now between Wigan and the other sides around them. Obviously, they'll be banking on Man United to beat Villa, and then almost you're bringing those two together, and the others, there's 5 or 6 point gap. So you're starting to narrow it down, certainly. I mean, Kevin Nolan, I think that's his 100th goal.
Yeah, 100th goal, yeah.
And how many times do we see him arrive in the right place at the right time, but also the technique?
Yeah.
He's got an anticipation of a centre-forward, but also the finishing ability of a centre-forward. And that was, you watch the goal tonight, it's a marvellous finish over his shoulder, hooks it on. He's not a conventional
midfield player anyway. I know that's where he started his career pretty much as a central midfielder.
He plays just off the front, which allows Sam to have that depth and strength in midfield, but also someone who
gets behind the front man as well. So when you've got someone like Andy Carroll who wins so many balls as well, he gets himself into good areas.
Difficult to pick up, aren't they, those players?
OK, let's hear a little bit more about that 4th goal at Vicarage Road. Tony Lockwood.
Yes, Watford 4, Blackburn 0, contest over. Substitute Matthew Briggs with their 4th of the afternoon. Troy Deeney enjoying a highly productive campaign. Struck twice to leave Blackburn facing a damaging defeat. Alman Abdi's delightful finish, their 3rd of the afternoon. And Briggs off the bench to add a 4th. Poor first half, dramatically improved second half showing. And Watford are 4 up at Vicarage Road.
And Brighton extend their lead further at the Amex. Lawrence Herdman.
Yes, they're in cruise control now, Gabby. Brighton 5, Blackpool 1. Sparkling footwork by Brighton substitute Kazenga Lualua down the left. He turned his defender inside out. A brilliant cross and a lethal finish by Ashley Barnes, just back after a 7-match ban. This is a big step for Gus Poyet's side towards sealing a playoff berth. It's Brighton 5, Blackpool 1.
And let's get an update from Chris Dennis at Selhurst Park.
Well, it's all square 2-2 here, with Leicester City having equalised in the last few minutes, as you said, with Chris Wood, his 20th goal of the season, punishing a mistake on the far side by the Crystal Palace defence, who I have to say have been nervy and tense all afternoon, just as we predicted. They took the lead in the first half through Danny Gabidon. Back came Leicester in the first half to equalise, deservedly so, by Andy King. Dobby again put Palace ahead, but Chris Wood has equalised in the last few minutes to set up a barnstorming finish. Leicester, you fancy, need to win this to keep their playoff hopes alive, but at the moment, with 10 minutes remaining, it's Palace 2, Leicester 2.
Yeah, and if they can't, the good news is for Bolton, who are having a good afternoon at the Reebok, or as Will Perry's been calling it, Tenerife.
They are having a good afternoon, Gabby. It's still Bolton 2, Middlesbrough 1. The story of the game so far, Chris Eagles put Bolton ahead early in the second half. Kieran Dyer headed Borough level before Marvin Sordell gave Bolton the lead from the penalty spot. Jonathan Woodgate's been sent off for Borough. So as it stands, Dougie Freedman's side are in the playoff places. They're in 6th position. They've still got Cardiff and Blackpool to play. But as we know, plenty can change, can't it, over the next 2 games, and still this afternoon. It's Bolton 2, Middlesbrough 1.
Dundee clinging on to their SPL life. Carl Finnegan there with the goal on 81 minutes means they won't go down today if they can beat St Mirren. They are doing at the moment. What about the race to get into the Championship? Well, Doncaster Rovers started the day in top spot, had the possibility of securing that promotion, but at the Keepmoat Stadium, Derm Tanner can tell us a story of their afternoon.
Yes, they still trail by a goal to nil by Notts County, and Donny are second at the moment. They've been entirely in the Notts County half in this second half. They've thrown absolutely everything at it. Have free kicks, corners, shots, headers, everything going at them. But Notts County have stood tall and firm, and it's very frustrating for the locals. It's still Doncaster Rovers 0, Notts County 1.
Meanwhile, on the south coast, the Cherries are capitalising on that. At the Goldsound Stadium, Alistair Durden.
Yes, this 9,000-strong crowd. No, Bournemouth are getting close now, 5 minutes away from victory, which is the first part of the jigsaw. And they might have another chance here. No, it's going to disappear behind for a corner. Defender Steve Cook's towering leap and firm header put them in front. His first goal for the club. Lee Miller scored an eye-catching equaliser with a scissor kick. Carlisle matching Bournemouth chance for chance at that stage, but Harry Arter sweetly hit drive from the edge of the box, restored their lead. 2-1 with 5 minutes to go. With results elsewhere going as they are, Bournemouth are all but mathematically up.
But let's go to League 2 at Vale Park. Steve Wyers can tell us the story of Port Vale's attempts to secure promotion.
Well, the story is that Port Vale's promotion party very much on hold because they trailed 2-1, and an expectant Vale Park was silenced really by a sublime Roy O'Donovan goal for Northampton. Running at the Vale goal, he decided from 25 yards out to pick his spot, and that spot quite brilliantly was picked out the top corner of the goal, and nothing that Chris Neal could do about it. They led early on in the first half. They lead now in the closing stages of the second half, Northampton. It would be good enough for them to guarantee a playoff spot at the very least. Port Vale 1, Northampton 2.
And while Dundee cling on to SPL life, the promotion parties can start for Partick Thistle. At the Falkirk Stadium, Ian Turner.
Yes, the party has started. We must give credit to the local police and stewards when the second Partick Thistle goal was scored by Chris Erskine. They started a conga out of the stand round behind the goal. It was great to watch. They just let them get on with it. They're having a great time here. Partick Thistle leading Falkirk 2-0. They only needed a point and they're going to get the win. The party started, Thistle going up.
I'd imagine there'll be something of a party at Carrow Road, because if this ends up in a victory for Norwich, Mark Webber, they can breathe a big sigh of relief round there.
Oh, they can, but everybody's still holding their breath, Gabby, because it is Norwich 2, Reading 1. Reading pulling the trapdoor of this game open again. Gareth McCleary letting loose in the Norwich area, and flummoxed keeper Mark Bunn to get that goal that Reading have now, which gives them a lifeline, and I have to say, they're trying to capitalise on it. They're doing most of the pushing now in the past 5 minutes. Joby McInnes has just come close. We're waiting for an injury to be dealt with Robert Snodgrass on the area while they settle, and I think that might be the settling time that Norwich need, because they've again been a bit nervous in the past few minutes, and Reading have looked like an equaliser could be in the bag. At the moment it isn't. Norwich City 2, Reading 1.
Norwich's goals from Ryan and Elliot Bennett. Uncle Gordon also contributing this afternoon. Let's go to the Hawthorns. Ivan Gaskell, how's it going?
Well, I refuse on principle to use the description game of two halves, but I have to say it would very accurately reflect the way this game has gone. Newcastle could have been 3 or 4 up at half-time. Instead, they were just 1 ahead. Gouffran with an early goal on 8 minutes. And then West Brom came out and they've utterly dominated this second half. They have a goal to show for it. Billy Jones, his first ever goal for West Brom in 47 appearances, the fullback, and also, incidentally, the first English scorer for West Brom. There's a bit of trivia for you. We're playing out time here. I suspect we're going to see no further goals, but I've been wrong before.
A caveat in there, nicely put. Let's go to the Liberty Stadium. Two attractive footballing sides, Hamish Marshall, we've said. Are they producing the goods, if not the goals, today?
They've certainly produced lots of completed passes, but a real lack of goals. In the first half, Ricky Lambert's free kick was tipped over, Southampton's best chance. Adam Lallana had the ball in the net. That was ruled out for a foul. For Swansea, Michu's headed over, and De Guzman has been denied by Artur Boric. We've got 1 minute left to play. Looks like 0-0 finally.
Oh, let's take a moment to just take stock, shall we, on the afternoon and what we've seen. Most significant result of the day so far, if they stay as they are?
So far, well, for Stoke, winning at QPR, huge, and Wigan losing at West Ham. Those two, I think, stand out, really. You felt that Wigan probably needed to get something from this one against West Ham. I know they've got a lot of games, they've got games in hand, but I think that's a damaging result for them.
And the big news isn't over because there's been a sending off. Let's go to Andrew James at Craven Cottage and find out just who it is.
Well, there has been a sending off. It's Arsenal's Giroud, but he doesn't seem to want to go very easily. Finally, he's making his way. It was a rash challenge by the Arsenal centre-forward on Manolev, and of course it equals it up to 10-a-side now, with Sidwell having been sent off in the first half. I wonder what Arsene Wenger will make of that. It's still Fulham 0, Arsenal 1.
What do you two make of that? Andre Marin and the referee, refereeing the...
that's harsh. What's happened is he's taken a touch, the ball's run slightly away from him. What he's tried to do is go towards the ball, put his foot on the ball and then just pull it away from the oncoming player. What he does, he slips as he tries to put his foot on the ball and just slips over the ball. He doesn't go over the ball as a tackle, and that's what Andre Marin has read it as an over-the-top tackle. It isn't. He's just basically trying to pull the ball back, but he slips over the top of it.
Is there an element of him trying to make amends with the first?
Well, I mean, the Sidwell one was probably a little bit harsh in the first half as well. I mean, it was a lunging tackle at Arteta, and he does catch him on the ankle with his studs showing, and you can see why he's sent him off. Probably a yellow card would have been sufficient in that situation, but he's read that pretty much the same tackle where he's gone over top and caught him on the ankle. So,
but neither. I mean, the first sending off is not an over-the-top tackle. It's a late one.
It's a bad tackle. You run the risk, though, by making that tackle.
It's a booking, and that one, I think he's read that wrong. As I say, I think
two bad decisions cancel each other out. Is that what he's hoping for?
I mean, like you say, you can see half. You can see why he's given the first one, possibly. That one, I just think he's read that situation wrong. As a footballer, I think you'd look at that and think maybe that isn't the case. He's certainly not going to go over the top of the ball, but because of what he's tried to do by pulling the ball back, it looks like he's done that. So I think he's just read that one wrong.
OK, thanks for the moment. Ian Turner is at the Falkirk Stadium where the full-time whistle has blown and confirmation that Partick are in the SPL.
Partick Thistle are heading back to the SPL after a 10-year absence after sealing the Division 1 championship here in Falkirk. They only needed a draw but finished the job in some style as their fans sang "There's only one team in Glasgow." They're celebrating now, and Andy Dowie bullet header started the party. Chris Erskine's mazy run and finish put the icing on the cake. Thistle are back in the SPL. Falkirk 0, Partick Thistle 2.
Ian, thank you. Let's go to Vale Park. Steve Wyeth has a goal for us.
Where there could yet be a promotion party for the home side because it's 2-2. It's a horrific own goal by the Northampton defender Lee Collins, an innocuous ball into the penalty area. He had no need to try and cut it out, but he stuck out a right leg, and that sent the ball looping over his goalkeeper Lee Nichols into the back of the net. So Lee Collins' own goal means Port Vale, with results elsewhere and their superior goal difference, they could yet be realistically promoted today. Port Vale 2, Northampton 2.
Big news at the Goldstand Stadium as well. Alistair Durden.
Yes, Bournemouth have wrapped up victory here with a third goal, a polished finish just inside the area from Mark Pugh, driving it into the bottom right-hand corner. So no doubt that Bournemouth are going to win this game, and with results as they are elsewhere, it looks as if you can hear the supporters. They will be going up to the Championship. Won't be confirmed mathematically unless Brentford lose in the evening kickoff, but 3-1 here.
What a turnaround there at the top of League One today. Doncaster started the day, of course, leading.
Yeah.
And now losing.
Well, we've been trying to work it out. Who's going to join? It looks like Bournemouth now. If the result stays as it is, they're going to be promoted. And that's fantastic for them. But Doncaster play Brentford
they're going to get
next
promoted,
week.
yes, because those two are going to play each other. So that's how they're going to get promoted, unless they get beat by 6 or 7. So good day for Brentford if it stays the same. And obviously Doncaster now Nels will be jangling.
They're the scenes at the Liberty Stadium, all over there. No goals, Hamish Marshall, though.
Yeah, a real contender for last game of the night on Match of the Day, if ever I saw one. A real lack of end product. Southampton will be happy with a point, helping ease any lingering relegation concerns. Still just one win since the League Cup triumph for Swansea, 0-0.
Yes, Swansea will be grateful for getting most of their points on the board before that League Cup final, won't they? And look at those celebrations. What can that possibly mean? What do you think it means? Hot dogs half price?
It means he's learned his lesson. He had to buy a new suit this week after last week. He stayed on his feet this time.
It's all over at the Stadium of Lights. Another victory for Sunderland. Let's hear from Paul Addison.
Yes, a massive 3 points this for Sunderland. The celebrations from the manager, Paolo Di Canio, a little bit more subdued than we saw on Tyneside last week. He managed to stay on his feet, but he is going around and congratulating every one of his players because they thoroughly deserve the victory this afternoon. Stefan Sessegnon scored the only goal of the game in added-on time in the first half, a shot which Tim Howard will feel he should have done better with. Sunderland withstood a lot of Everton possession and pressure in the second half, but an off day for David Moyes' side in front of goal. They had a few moments, but they were too few and far between. And this defeat, a mortal blow perhaps to their Champions League ambitions, but a terrific win for Sunderland, and the Di Canio roadshow rolls on. Sunderland 1, Everton 0.
6 points from 3 games. Not a bad return so far for Di Canio. Worse news for Wigan today. All over at Upton Park, Tony Husband.
Yes, Wigan Cup finalists, but a step closer to relegation here. They're made to pay for their failure to take a host of chances, particularly in the second half. West Ham indebted to Jussi Jääskeläinen. He made a series of decent saves and one great save to deny James MacArthur in the second half, in which Wigan pressed hard to cancel out Matt Jarvis's first period goal, a cross which went in at the back post. The save was crucial though from Jääskeläinen. Soon after, Kevin Nolan got the second. Carroll tried an overhead kick. Nolan helped it on with a smart finish on the turn, his 100th career club goal. West Ham will say they're safe now. 2 defeats in a row for Wigan in the league following that Wembley win.
Charlton have taken a 2-1 lead on the 90th minute, which put Wolves back into the bottom 3. It's not all over yet in the Valley, but it is all over at Loftus Road. And you can see there that Stoke City have recorded a very important win. Jonathan Ledyard.
And their supporters undoubtedly and not surprisingly dancing, singing, cheering, chanting, because it seems Stoke have taken a huge step towards Premier League survival, courtesy of Peter Crouch's first half tap-in and John Walter's second half penalty. As for Queen's Park Rangers, their supporters were beginning to leave very early, pretty much soon after John Walter's goal after 77 minutes. Rob Green's goal was in the shadows, and frankly his team, Queen's Park Rangers, are almost in the Championship. They're pretty much in the doldrums, certainly. Next Sunday's game at Reading is probably going to be an early sight of the Championship, and the next time they play here at Loftus Road against Arsenal, their fate will surely have been sealed.
Big promoted are now confirmed as champions of League Two with their victory over Wimbledon. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to Norwich. A big win over Reading at Carrow Road. Mark Webber.
Norwich City 2, Reading 1. About 24,000 Norwich fans went for the world record for holding their breath in the last few minutes of that game, as Reading's Gareth McCauley got a late consolation goal and came close to salvaging a draw, but Norwich held on, sent out with a flea in their ear after a tepid first half. Ryan Bennett got the first goal. Elliot Bennett followed a few moments later to show that Norwich can cut the mustard in front of goal and surely secure Norwich's place in the Premier League. As for Reading, the Championship looks a bit of a certainty now, doesn't it? Norwich 2, Reading 1.
Ivan Gaskell, your foresight was true. You said there would be no more goals, and there weren't at the Hawthorns.
Absolutely. Mind you, when I said that, it was 1-1, very few chances, only 2 minutes left. But yes, I'll hold on to that prediction, and, well, Newcastle held on for a point. You know, half a dozen chances in the first half. Newcastle could have been 3-4, maybe 5 up. They weren't. Johan Gudfrund's early goal was the only one that separated the sides. And you know what? Total reversal second half. West Brom could have had 5 goals in the second period. They pretty much dominated proceedings, but they only had had one goal to show for it. Billy Jones, his first goal for West Brom, the first English scorer of the season, and it gives West Brom a goal and a point that ends a rather barren spell for them. And it's just about right, all square.
So a valuable point for Newcastle United. Let's go to the Reebok Stadium and get the story from Will Perry.
It's Bolton 2, Middlesbrough 1. It's just finished. Bolton into the playoff places with 2 games to go. Chris Eagles put them in front. Was it a fluke or a stunner? I'm not quite sure. His effort dipped in over the head of Jason Steele in the Borough net. Kieran Dyer then levelled it up for the visitors, heading in from close range. 3 minutes later, Bolton had the lead again. Jonathan Woodgate brought down Chung Yong Lee in the box. Marvin Sordell tucked away the penalty. Woodgate was booked for that. He was shown a second yellow shortly after. Having slated the home crowd, Gabby, early on, they helicoptered Delia Smith in at half-time and they sang out the game in sweet synchronisation. Next up for Dougie Freedman's side, a trip to the champions Cardiff. They finish here against Blackpool. It's finished Bolton 2, Middlesbrough 1.
They didn't really helicopter Delia in, just in case you're wondering. But you can have your say on the weekend's fixtures and anything else you want to talk about with Robbie Savage and Ian Dennis over on 5 Live in just over an hour's time. And you could also catch Liverpool against Chelsea and Manchester United against Aston Villa on 5 Live over the next couple of days. All the reaction to come from today's matches after all the day's football results with Mike West.
And opening with the Barclays Premier League. Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. Norwich City 2, Reading 1. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Stoke City 2. Sunderland 1, Everton 0. Swansea City 0, Southampton 0. West Bromwich Albion 1, Newcastle United 1. And West Ham United 2, Wigan Athletic 0. On to the Empire Championship. Birmingham City 1, Leeds United 0. Bolton Wanderers 2, Middlesbrough 1. Brighton and Hove Albion 6, Blackpool 1. Burnley 1, Cardiff City 1. Charlton Athletic 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1 is a latest score. Crystal Palace 2, Leicester City 2. Derby County 3, Peterborough United 1. Huddersfield Town 3, Millwall 0. Nottingham Forest 0, Barnsley 0. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Ipswich Town 1. And Watford 4, Blackburn Rovers 0. In the Empire League 1, AFC Bournemouth 3, Carlisle United 1. Colchester United 0, Shrewsbury Town 0. Coventry City 0, Leyton Orient 1. Doncaster Rovers 0, Notts County 1. Hartlepool United against Brentford, an evening kick-off at 5:20. Milton Keynes Dons 0, Scunthorpe United 1. Oldham Athletic 2, Crawley Town 1. Portsmouth 3, Sheffield United 0. Preston North End 1, Tranmere Rovers 0. Swindon Town 3, Stevenage 0. Walsall 1, Bury 1. And Yeovil Town 1, Crewe Alexandra 0. In the Empire League 2, Aldershot Town 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0. Barnet 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0 is a latest score. Bradford City 1, Burton Albion 0. Bristol Rovers 0, Accrington Stanley 1. Exeter City 0, Cheltenham Town 1. Fleetwood Town 1, Chesterfield 3. Gillingham 2, AFC Wimbledon 2. Morecambe 0, Torquay United 2. Oxford United 3, Rochdale 0. Plymouth Argyle 0, Rotherham United 1. Port Vale 2, Northampton Town 2. And York City 2, Southend United 1. Into Scotland and the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League. Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 1. And St Mirren 1, Dundee 2. The Ironbrew Scottish Division 1, Dumbarton 4, Airdrie United 1. Dunfermline 1, Cowdenbeath 0. Falkirk 0, Partick Thistle 2. Hamilton Academical 2, Wraith Rovers 0. And Livingston 0, Greenock Morton 2. The Scottish Division 2, Albion Rovers 3, Brechin City 1. Arbroath 1, Stranraer 0. East Fife 2, Alloa Athletic 1. Forfar Athletic 0, Queen of the South 4, and Stenhousemuir 4, Ayr United 0. The Scottish Division 3, Annan Athletic 0, Stirling Albion 1. Clyde 1, Montrose 0. Elgin City 1, Berwick Rangers 2. Queen's Park 5, East Stirlingshire 1. And Rangers 1, Peterhead 2. The Corvid Sports Welsh Premier, Airbus UK Broughton 1, Bangor City 0 is a latest score. Carmarthen Town 0, Port Talbot Town 0. Gap Connors Quay 0. Newtown 2. Llanelli 1. Bala Town 5. And Prestatyn Town 1. The New Saints 7. Lastly, the Danske Bank Irish Premiership, Ballymena United 0. Glenavon 2. Coleraine 0. Cliftonville 2. Crusaders 3. Glentoran 2. Donegal Celtic 1. Portadown 2. Linfield 0. Ballina-Mallard 1. And finally, Lisbon Distillery 0. Dungannon Swifts 1.
And a couple of late kickoffs to tell you about. Charlton Athletic have beaten Wolves 2-1, and it's still playing Barnet and Wycombe Wanderers. Final game at Underhill. It kicked off 20 minutes late, but Barnet at the moment going towards victory in their final game at Underhill. Let's have a look at the tables. The Premier League, Manchester United in touching distance of the title, leading their neighbours City by 13 points. Arsenal are back into third place as they chase Champions League qualification, but Chelsea now have 2 games in hand on them. The Blues and Tottenham are both in action tomorrow, but a top 4 spot looks beyond Everton now. At the bottom, Reading and QPR almost certainly down. That could be confirmed if Aston Villa win at Manchester United on Monday. Paul Lambert's men could really do with something from Old Trafford. Results this afternoon mean it was a bad day for them and Wigan. Newcastle, Stoke, Sunderland and Norwich might be feeling much more bullish about survival after their results today. To the Championship, and Cardiff are champions despite being held 1-1 at Burnley, with Hull held to a draw on Friday night. Watford kept their automatic promotion hopes alive by thrashing Blackburn Rovers. Bolton are up into the playoff places with a 2-1 win over Middlesbrough. Huddersfield were the big winners at the bottom. Their 3-0 win over Millwall at lunchtime took them out of the relegation spots. Wolves replaced them in the bottom 3 after losing at Charlton. Peterborough are firmly in the mire after going down 3-1 at Derby. Barnsley picked up a point at Nottingham Forest to leave 10 teams still at risk of the drop. Let's have a look at League One. And what a day for Bournemouth. They've leapfrogged Doncaster Rovers. They could be promoted this evening if Brentford lose at Hartlepool. Should Brentford win, they could push Doncaster into third. Rovers disastrously lost at home to Notts County, having led at the start of the day. At the bottom, Scunthorpe have given themselves a lifeline with an unlikely win at the MK Dons. And Colchester and Shrewsbury drew today. Oldham grabbed a crucial late win. Gillingham are champions of League Two despite drawing 2-2 with AFC Wimbledon. Port Vale have all but said goodbye to the division after a 5-year stay. They were held 2-2 at home to Northampton, but their huge advantage on goal difference leaves them as good as up. Rotherham, Cheltenham and Burton, the only one of the trio to lose today, will fight it out for the final automatic spot heading to the final day. Aldershot's 1-0 win over Dagenham and Redbridge sees them remain bottom, but ensured their fight will go down to the final day. They're one of 4 teams that could still be relegated as it stands. However, the league table is yet to be confirmed, with Barnet still in action, as you know, after that delayed kick-off at Underhill. And the SPL, as we know, Celtic are top of the pile by a mile. They'll be confirmed as SPL champions tomorrow if they avoid defeat against Inverness. Dundee live to fight another day. There are 10 rather than 13 points adrift now at the bottom after that crucial lifeline win at second bottom St Mirren. But let's go straight to Upton Park. Jonathan Pearce is there for us. Jonathan, it's a bad day for Wigan. Not just their result, there are things going on around them as well. Results happening to the other teams they're in competition with for survival.
And they lost Alcaraz as well to a hamstring injury in the build-up to the cup final. That's not good. There was a little bit of a hangover for them after a busy week in the first half. One chance through the excellent Sean Maloney save by Jääskeläinen, and West Ham took the lead with a fluky goal, really. Jarvis's cross from the left-hand side eluded everyone and went in. They were the better side in the first half, though, with a rampaging Carroll at the heart of everything. Half-time, though, Martinez makes a change. On comes the abrasive MacArthur. Suddenly, Wigan were more competitive. They were the team creating chances. Jääskeläinen made some excellent stops, one in particular from MacArthur. And from then on, West Ham United clinched the victory with Kevin Nolan's 100th club career goal very late on. Wigan didn't deserve to lose this, but the defeat, Gabby, leaves them in real peril.
It does. Aston Villa, of course, play on Monday night. We'll talk a bit about their running, but you can see the goals tonight. Gary with the two Allens, Hansen and Shearer, on BBC One at 10:30. And then Colin Murray will guide you through Tottenham City and Liverpool Chelsea on Match of the Day 2 tomorrow at 10:25. They've both got interesting run-ins, Aston Villa and Wigan, and guess who they play on the final day of the season? Each other.
Makes it nice and interesting, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, it could come down to that as well. Both got difficult games. I mean, I've got Wigan's running. They play Spurs and Arsenal. Villa have got to travel to Man United on Monday. They've got Chelsea to play as well. There's a couple of games in between.
Is it down to those two now for you?
Well, I mean, I know when Harry Redknapp was looking at the relegation trouble, he said if we can get to 37 points, that'll give us a great chance. Well, Aston Villa and Wigan are the only two that haven't quite got there, so probably down to those two.
Point takes them to 37.
Yeah.
You think they're going to pick one or two more up along the way?
There's probably a few twists and turns along the way, but you'd imagine at the moment the way it's looking, it's those two.
Pressure football for Wigan, though, and it's catch-up football all the time for them. They've always had to keep making ground. In the end, you know, you start to run out of teams that you can catch. You have that one bad result, everybody then goes 5 or 6 clear of you, and there's no doubt psychologically they'll be looking at going, you know, we've got two really tough games coming up, so it's going to be a tough run-in for them.
OK, you two stay right where you are. I need you for another 45 minutes or so, but that's it for us on BBC One. Plenty more reaction to come, though, from managers and players. Join us on the red button if you can. If not, we'll see you next week. Take care.